Hello there. In this video, you'll learn about the failure of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. No one is talking about this because everyone is simply focused on one thing, the stimulus checks. Some are focused on unemployment benefits, and rightly so. But in this video, I'll talk to you about the failure of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package because millions of jobs will be gone forever, even after we recover from the pandemic. Individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality may never get their jobs back ever. Money is needed, resources are needed to retrain these individuals because the future of work involves automation. Yes, a lot of automation will take place, a lot of jobs will be lost, but there will be new opportunities in this new world. Unfortunately, this massive $1.9 trillion package, the American Rescue Plan, does not include a single dollar for retraining individuals to prepare them for a better future. Now, the Biden administration has indicated that they plan on allocating money for retraining sometime later in the year. But the need of the hour is to help people retrain themselves so that they can develop new skills if needed and get their jobs back, because some of us have been left behind, and that is the failure of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. On your screen, you'll see a brand new article from Heather Long from the Washington Post. Millions of jobs probably aren't coming back even after the pandemic ends. The United States needs to invest more in retraining workers, and this is a warning from many economists. According to this article, businesses are working towards a future where more workers work from home and travel less for business, and workers are replaced with robots. Yep, you heard that right. All of these modifications, according to the Washington Post, mean workers will not be able to do the same job that they did prior to the pandemic, even after a majority of the US population gets vaccinated. This means that even after vaccinations happen, some individuals are going to be displaced forever. On your screen, you'll see an article from CNBC, and Bill Gates was the one who said that half of business travel would be gone permanently. Gates also said that 30% of the time spent in an office would be gone forever. And I can vouch for that. I'm working more from home. My staff is working more from home. I haven't taken a business trip in well over a year, and for me, the threshold for business travel is very high. If I can do a meeting over Zoom or over the phone, I'm not getting on a plane. And if you heard Bill Gates and you said to yourself, that's nuts. Well, it looks like he was not too far off. According to a brand new report that's going to emerge from the McKinsey Global Institute, but that was previewed by the Washington Post, and you'll see this headline on your screen. This is a preview of that report that's about to be released, which is written by the Washington Post. And by the way, we'll provide you a link to all of these resources in the description section below. This article makes the case for less travel, more remote work, and more automation in a brand new post-pandemic world. By definition, this would mean less jobs in travel, less jobs in leisure, in the hotel industry, in the entertainment industry, less jobs in the restaurant industry. This is pretty incredible when you think about it, considering the millions of individuals who are employed in these industries. This means less jobs for administrative assistants as well, simply because you can hire someone who can work from home, and therefore you may not require someone to come into your exact location. Here's the headline of another article in the Washington Post, also written by Heather Long, and the headline is Administrative Assistant Jobs Helped Propel Many Women into the Middle Class. Now those jobs are disappearing. And what is even more tragic, if we closely analyze these trends over the past 20 years, is this graphic that you see on your screen, courtesy of the article in the Washington Post. Manufacturing workers, administrative assistants, and clerks have seen the biggest job losses since the year 2000. Remember, this is data prior to the pandemic, and things got substantially worse during the pandemic. You'll see that office and administrative support, production including manufacturing, farming, fishing, and forestry, these are the sectors that have been steadily losing jobs since the year 2000. Now, I do want to give you some good news, and I do want to give you some encouraging data, which is also from the same article. You'll see this image on your screen. Occupations predicted to have the most job growth by way of number of jobs and expected salary from 2018 through 2028. So you can potentially look into these jobs if you're looking to switch careers. Let's analyze this really quick. personal care aides, food prep workers, registered nurses, home health aides. People are always going to need care. People are going to need cooks, software developers, waiters, and waitresses. Although I would say that this is probably going to be on the decline, but then again, there's always going to be a need for waiters and waitresses, general and operational managers, janitors and cleaners, medical assistants. I would even add plumbers and handymen to this list. And what is interesting is if you take a look at the third column, which represents median pay, you'll see that software developers can make well over six figures a year, followed by registered nurses who can make well over $70,000 a year on average. Remember, these are national numbers, national trends, and your region, your state, your city will have specific reimbursement rates depending on where you live. It's very clear that the world is changing. The future of jobs is changing. In fact, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell specifically said this back in November of last year. He said, "We are recovering, but to a different economy." This is a very important statement. We are recovering, but to a different economy, from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. And this different economy is clearly reflected when the jobless, when the unemployed are surveyed. Back in the Great Recession of 2008, 52% of those who are unemployed considered switching careers. According to brand new research from the Pew Research Center, which you'll see on your screen, two-thirds of those who are unemployed in the country are thinking of changing their careers, retraining themselves, and potentially changing their skill set to switch careers and find new jobs in different sectors, which is again the reason why the $1.9 trillion stimulus package lets us down in some ways, because it does not help individuals retrain. And this is the only long-term solution for a robust economic recovery, a recovery in which all of us can participate. Here's the headline of an article from the Pew Research Center website. Unemployed Americans are feeling the emotional strain of job loss. Most have considered changing occupations. You'll see this image on your screen from the Pew Research Center article, which says unemployed adults have mixed views about their future job prospects. Most say they've seriously thought about changing their field of occupation. Let's take a look at the circle on the right side. 66% have said yes, they have considered changing their occupation or field of work. And on the left side, you'll see that 51% of the unemployed feel very optimistic or somewhat optimistic about their job prospects, but half of the individuals, 49% of individuals, feel somewhat pessimistic or very pessimistic. In other words, half of the individuals are losing hope. Folks, this is bad. This reflects the psychological impact, the emotional impact of long-term unemployment, which is on the rise. And this is exactly why it's important to consider a change in careers if you're still unemployed, or if you want to do even better in a post-pandemic world. You may have a job right now, but you may have the opportunity to do even better in a post-pandemic world. Let's go back to the chart that I showed you earlier that shows the future prospects of different jobs, like being a software developer, like being a home health aide, or a registered nurse. You may want to switch careers even if you already have a steady career right now. In fact, these trends have been emerging even prior to the pandemic. You'll see this article on your screen from the Washington Post. This article, by the way, is well over a year old, but it's even more relevant now. The headline is, "When the next recession comes, the robots will be ready. For humans, it's a downturn. For machines, it's an opportunity." You might think this article was written yesterday, but this article was written in January of 2019. And therefore, there are sectors that will always be evergreen. Healthcare is one sector. The development of software code is another sector. And this is exactly why I feel that the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, as ambitious as it is, as well-intentioned as it is, if you're a Democrat, as comprehensive, as vast as it is likely to fail in some important aspects, which is helping individuals who have been left behind, helping individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality have the guidance to retrain their skills so that not only can they get their jobs back, but potentially even become more economically successful, even make more money than they had prior to the pandemic, which is possible. If you really put your mind to something, anything is possible. I hope you learned something new from this video. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would really mean a lot to me, and that does help out the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate you watching. I always want every single one of my subscribers to be successful, to be healthy, to be happy. And an important part of this is retraining and improving your skills for a post pandemic world. I started this YouTube channel many, many years ago, but because I was busy with my businesses, I didn't really post a lot of videos. As you can see, I've been consistently posting videos because I want to be able to give back to our community. And quite honestly, YouTube has now become a business in and of itself. This is me adapting, this is me walking the walk and adapting in a post pandemic world and essentially developing something new out of what could be perceived as a lack of opportunity, being stuck indoors. And I encourage you to do the same, and I know you'll do the same, and I'll guide you to get there. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. It helps up the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.